Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spellbound, A Darker Shade of Black. Get your copy today at your favorite online bookseller. There has been an arrest in connection with the stabbing of two twin sisters, where one wound up losing her life.
A suspect accused of stabbing twin sisters, killing one of them, is in custody tonight. Police sources say the man attacked the teens after they turned down his advances. CBS 2's Dave Carlin is live now in Park Slope, Brooklyn, where family and friends confronted the suspect. Dave.
A crowd gathered as the suspect was being brought out of here, and that crowd included victim family members who let their feelings be known.
How dare you!
Bystanders included the victim's family outside the 78th Precinct Station House. They cursed the suspect. So we've taken out the audio. As you see, 20-year-old Vio Kelly in handcuffs and with officers at the start of his transfer to court. He turned himself in. Police say Kelly was allegedly at a Park Slope deli early Sunday and accuse him of stabbing and killing 19-year-old Samaya Spain and injuring her twin sister.
To know what it is to lose a child. She was 19. Her whole life was cut short. Samaya, you're gonna be missed.
That's close family friend Yvette Ramos, who spoke on behalf of the Spain family. She confirmed what police said, that Spain did not know the suspect and had rejected his advances moments before she was killed.
If you knew the twins for 19 years of their life, you know what that is for that girl to wake up and say, my sister, I can't call my sister? That family alone will never be the same.
This memorial continues to grow outside the Spain family apartment in Wyckoff Gardens housing. Neighbors were aware a suspect turned himself in with an attorney at his side.
Killed her, just took her life for no apparent reason. Just because she said no. Something tells you no, it's no, and that's the bottom line.
Police recovered the deli's video surveillance. At the deli, there was this Wednesday night vigil with more than 100 people, including the twins' father, Stephen Spain. He and the rest of the family saying very little publicly, but relaying a message that they are grateful the suspect is behind bars. Detectives charged Kelly with murder, assault, and weapons possession. Live in Park Slope, Dave Carlin, CBS 2 News.
Dave, thank you.
Now, police arrested 20-year-old Vio Kelly in connection with the stabbing that led to the death of 19-year-old Samaya Spain as she and her twin sister went to a Park Slope deli to go get some snacks. And after they went to this deli to get those snacks, this is where Vio Kelly, who was at the store with his boys, decided to make an advance, allegedly, on Samaya Spain, who rejected him, and after she wound up rejecting him, this is where Vio Kelly got so upset that he started an argument with Samaya and Samaya Spain that got heated to the point where the store owner ejected him from the store, and after getting ejected from the store, this is where Vio Kelly allegedly went possibly to his home to go get a knife. And as Samaya and Samaya Spain thought things were safe, they were thinking to leave the store. And this is where Vio Kelly allegedly attacked Samaya and Samaya Spain, stabbing them, leading to Samaya Spain winding up getting injured and Samaya Spain winding up losing her life. Now, Vio Kelly, after hearing possibly about the dragnet that the police had as related to this investigation, and the fact that there was there was a video that basically went viral as related to the murder, circulating on social media, and many of his friends basically flipping him and the store owner flipping him for the murder, letting everybody know that Rico, which was his street name, was the one who participated in the crime. He knew that the dragnet was drawing around him, and this is why he turned himself in to the NYPD to be charged with murder, assault, and criminal possession of a weapon. Now, the NYPD see the alleged actions of 20-year-old Vio Kelly as an isolated incident of a man who was upset about being rejected. But when I take a critical examination of the alleged behavior of 20-year-old V.O. Kelly, it fits the pattern and profile for beta males that I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis. And in my previous video that I talked about as related to V.O. Kelly, his behavior also fits the pattern and profile of behavior of simps and psycho simps and power simps that I talk about in my book, Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance. And this behavior of being a power or a psycho simp is the thing that possibly led to him participating in the efforts to murder Samaya Spain, all for rejecting him. Because when it comes to the power simp or the psycho simp, these individuals have a hard time controlling their emotions as related to women, and they have a problem with controlling their emotions as related to women due to the dysfunctional way these boys have been raised in environments like single mother households and households with beta male fathers. And because these boys are not taught proper male life skills or male survival skills as related to social relationships, these males do not know how to navigate through their emotions whenever a girl rejects them. Because one of the lessons that every boy has to learn in adolescence is the ability to handle rejection. Because in the world of dating and relationships, a boy is going to hear no more than he hears yes, and he has to develop the thick skin to be able to handle hearing no, and be able to handle hearing no to the point where he can basically laugh it off. Because in the world of dating and relationships, you are going to be dealing with lots of women, and when a woman says no to you, you can't take it personal. You just have to understand maybe she's not interested. And when it comes to social situations, you have to understand that participating in cold approaching is definitely going to lead to a no almost every time. Unfortunately, V.O. Kelly was not taught these male life skills as related to the world of dating and relationships, and because he wasn't taught these social skills, he didn't understand that when it comes to cold approaching, that you're gonna hear no. He thought that because he was in his fly gear and hanging around his boys, he would possibly get a shot at these twins and getting them to pay him attention, trying to get their phone number, not understanding that he was basically in a situation where he was going to embarrass himself, because when you step the women in front of your boys, you're basically putting a woman on the spot for an automatic no in that situation. That's what V.O. Kelly didn't understand, but he went out here and stepped to this girl, and he stepped to this girl thinking that she was going to just give him a phone number out of nowhere, but it wasn't going to happen. And when he heard no, that's when this guy, who was living in a rose-colored reality and further exacerbated by him possibly being drunk, heard no. And once he heard no, he went from having his rose-colored reality shattered as related to thinking he was flying up the step to this girl, and wound up exploding in a rage. And as he exploded in this rage about hearing no, he yelled and cursed at this girl and argued with her, not understanding he was not helping his situation. No, he was not helping his situation as related to impressing this girl into thinking that he wasn't somebody she should consider, because if he couldn't take rejection, this girl would see him as weak. So he was coming further from a position of weakness by cold approaching in front of his boys to arguing with her, making it where he was further on a position of weakness, making himself look like less of somebody she should consider. But because he was in his feelings and upset about being rejected, he just continued to argue to the point where things got so heated that the store owner allegedly ejected him from the store. And after the store owner ejected him from the store, this is where V.O. Kelly allegedly went somewhere to go get a knife from a kitchen possibly. And after getting that knife, he acted on his impulses and acted on those impulses with malice aforethought, because he was going to make this girl, Samia Spain, pay for saying no to him. And he did this as the girls thought it was safe to leave the store. And as they thought it was safe to leave the store, this is where Vio Kelly allegedly stabbed both of the girls, stabbing her twin sister, Sanaya, in a non-life-threatening injury, and stabbed Samia in the neck, all because he was caught up in his feelings. And as he was caught up in his feelings and sating those feelings for a moment, he wasn't thinking about more important things related to the intangibles of his manhood, such as his dignity, which he compromised by arguing with this girl, his self-respect by going out here and continuing to try to get in the back and forth with this girl, looking to get power, and further of sacrificing his freedom, because by taking the life of this girl, he's not going to be able to make advances on another girl at this point, because now that he's turned himself in and he's got his homies now giving out the story that he is the one who did it, and also you've got the witness of the store owner, and you've got the video footage showing him participating in the crime and fleeing the scene. This is where Vio Kelly is going to go from looking to get advances on girls at the clubs he was at to winding up inside of the Rikers Island, and if he goes to trial, gets convicted, and he's going to wind up in one of these state penitentiaries here in New York. And as he's in that penitentiary, he's going to be in a place where he's going to have to deal with the boys who are the COs, who are going to be running the penitentiary as related to the rules of the penitentiary. And he's also going to be dealing with the social hierarchy of Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Mr. Sprinkles. And he's going to be in a place where he won't be able to get a weapon to fend off the advances of Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Mr. Sprinkles. And he won't be in a place where he can defend himself for saying no to them as they make their advances. And it's in that penitentiary where he will reap what he sows, as he is traded for Little Debbie snack cakes, ramen noodles, packets of Crystal Light lemonade, packets of Taster's Choice coffee, packets of Snyder's pretzels, Fritos chips, off-brand fruit punch, off-brand lemonade, sugar wafers, off-brand Oreo cookies, off-brand lemon cookies, off-brand duplex cookies, off-brand ginger snaps, off-brand vanilla wafers, Hunt's snack pack puddings, packets of potted meat. I mean, he's basically going to wind up getting traded as these men make advances, and they're not going to take no for an answer, as they wind up turning the tight end into a wide receiver and wind up stuffing the front side and the back side with their special meat sausage. And after they finish stuffing both the front side and the back side with the special meat sausage, and Mr. Sprinkles is going to step in and spray the special sauce all over the front side and the back side, then split the cheeks open and show the world how his backside looks like the inside of a glazed donut. That is the fate that's waiting Vio Kelly, who will possibly spend the rest of his life in prison. And as he's spending the rest of his life in prison, he will be thinking about the days where he had his freedom and how he basically took it for granted, throwing it away because he acted on an impulse, all because a girl told him no. And as he's in there, he's going to regret doing this, because he's going to regret acting impulsively. And this is a sad situation, because I've seen so many guys over the last 30 years that I have been since I was a teenager wind up throwing away their freedom over girls, not understanding that in this world there are 4 women for every one man. And in communities like the black community, there's close to 8 to 10 women for a man, because when it comes to women, there are so many out here, especially in the black community, because guys like this act impulsively, throw away their freedom, and as they throw away their freedom, they miss out on the opportunities of meeting other women, because again, just because a girl says no to you doesn't mean that you have a right to go out here and lose it and do harm to her. No, the response you have when a girl winds up being rejects you is to just brush it off, charge her to the game, and move on, because her rejecting you in many cases is a blessing. But these guys don't really understand this because they get caught up in their ego. They get caught up in, oh, I'm the fly guy. But the whole thing is, yes, you're a fly guy for a moment, but you won't be a guy who will be fly to anyone, because people are gonna forget you exist. And that's what happens to these kind of simps. They wind up learning a hard lesson when they find out, after participating in these crimes, all their homies basically wind up wanting nothing to do with them. Now, they were looking to impress all the homies by participating in these kind of acts of trying to cold approach. And because they get embarrassed, they wind up putting themselves in a humiliating situation with Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Mr. Sprinkles. And this is the justice that happens to these psycho simps. They wind up putting themselves in a situation where they wind up in the penitentiary. And as they wind up putting themselves on a road to the penitentiary, they go from being out on the streets, being able to mac females, to wind up having to be macked on by Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Mr. Sprinkles for who's going to put their hand in his pocket. And that's the situation these guys put themselves in, because they don't get proper male life skills, and because they don't get proper male life skills or male social skills on how to move in these streets. They wind up being moved into the penitentiary, where they go from being free men to being men in crisis, locked up in a penitentiary for the rest of their lives. Now, if you want to learn how to avoid winding up being in a situation like V.O. Kelly, you can pick up my book, Stop Simping: Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, and learn how to break out of the simp paradigm and learn how to navigate social situations as related to women. And that book has basically transformed and saved lives, and many mothers get this book for their son so that they won't wind up in a situation like this over a girl rejecting them. And you can pick up Stop Simping: Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find Stop Simping: Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance at other online booksellers like Draft to Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble. You can also find it at other big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you want to learn what leads to beta males like this participating in these types of violent behaviors and what motivates them to participate in these kind of crimes, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Man Crisis at other online booksellers like Smashworth, the iBookstore, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and also in Walmart and Target. And if you want to see me make more Man Crisis videos, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes' Illuminati, a man who rules the world, takes on the head of the global elite in this all-new action-packed John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes' Illuminati in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Coming to paperback and e-readers, Isis: Dark Incubus. The goddess next door gets enthralled in a romantic entanglement with an evil incubus in this all-new Isis series adventure. Pre-order your copy of Isis: Dark Incubus at Amazon.com and other online booksellers everywhere. Coming to paperback and e-readers, Esteem: Horror in the Hamptons. The aspiring angel tries to escape a house of horrors in this all-new Esteem series adventure. Pre-order your copy of Esteem: Horror in the Hamptons in digital format at Amazon.com, Google Play, Draft to Digital, and other digital booksellers, or pick up your paperback copy on May 24th. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.